So, what's up, Rohan? Do you believe in Jassi Bhai?
I only believe in Jassi Bhai.
Bas,
Morning 7:30, I always believe in Jassi Bhai.
that's true. That's true. That's
No
true.
matter what time of the day it is, I only believe in Jassi Bhai.
Good stuff. Yeah, lag raha hai. What do you think of? So, I think great first test. Nobody expected that. What do you think are
What
the
was you
biggest?
expecting after 3-0 being whitewashed at home?
I was expecting 1-0 down, honestly.
I was expecting Nathan Land to take 5-4 in each innings.
Ha, easily. Like after 150 all out, though, I was like, it's over. It's over. There's no way
150
out.
all out, I think the worst part was 51 for 4 in the first session.
Ha, but that's something we're used to.
Yeah, we are used to it. Usually, our batting starts after the fourth wicket,
Ha,
like number
exactly.
5,
So
number
which is
6.
why
At one
I
point, King Kohli was a night watchman.
don't say that. Don't say that. बहुत hit मिलेगा भाई अभी तो.
I mean, as long as I mean, मतलब ठीक है, fair enough. But still, I mean,
No, no,
kind of form
I
he
get
was
it.
in.
Yeah, of course. But like, I think I started panicking when we were at 73 for six.
73
That's
for
when I was
6,
like,
yes.
okay, that's now
At
150.
that point, it was more like we just don't want a double digit score again.
हाँ, exactly.
We've had a few. We have had a few in the
We've
past.
had a few.
This year, it's had a few.
हाँ,
So,
36, 46, 76 maybe, I don't know. But I think one,
and then
like,
I think we were in double digits only. We got all out in South Africa as well. South Africa tour also, we got
हाँ, correct.
a
We
double.
won that test match, no, though, I can't remember.
No, 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 we scored 155. They were all out for 55. We
They
did
won.
lose 6 wickets, 2 runs.
Correct. हाँ. But I think Rishabh Pant, they are like nobody's talking about it so much. People are talking about Bumrah after the first test match. But I think Pant, as always, came good when it mattered the most.
I mean, the sheer
Those,
audacity he had to hit a six of Pat Cummins, falling over,
वो तो
making
उसका
sure he
हो ही
doesn't
गया
get
ना.
hit wicket.
वो हो
But
गया
still,
ना
the
उसका.
audacity, like I think it was like 108 for six. India were like 108 for six, and he was playing such a shot. I mean, the real
या
intent merchant in our top six. The only intent merchant in our top six, I feel.
भाई अभी आ जाएंगे सब रो 45 फैंस मत बोल तू. But
Arey,
no, but Pant, I think, is the not enough being said about him. I think those 37 runs obviously were very important.
like that
And
partnership of NKR and Pant was the turning point for us. Like just making sure that we
100%,
have some kind of a total to bowl at. And who
100%,
thought like get them all out for 104 or
I
108,
agree.
whatever it is.
I agree. So हाँ, मतलब I think the biggest positives going in for India obviously are Rishabh Pant,
Yeah.
Nitish Reddy. What an innings! I think maybe we haven't seen him bowl enough, but maybe just enough to make a bit of a judgment call. Ki, हाँ, he seems like he's okay in Test cricket even as a bowler, as
Like
a holding
whenever
bowler.
he bowled in the second innings to Mitchell Marsh, that 2 over spell that he bowled to him, that was like a good sign because at that point in the second innings, the ball wasn't seaming around that much. Like
Correct.
the pitch had almost lost everything that it had on
Yeah.
the day one. But
Yeah.
again, like whatever he bowled in the 2 over spell, that was enough to tell us, कि, okay, he belongs here. There is something that the team
Correct.
management looked into him and they are backing him. And we just hope
That's
that he
true.
doesn't get injured, at least in the first three test matches. Once we
हाँ,
have some
that's true.
kind of a,
That's true. हाँ, मतलब he could be what Hardik Pandya could not become.
like we aspired Hardik Pandya to be.
Yeah. हाँ, मतलब like if we see anything like Hardik Pandya's spell from Trent Bridge in 2018,
2018, yeah.
that will be sort of like that's when you
See,
can
I
call
don't
him a
expect
proper
him to do
bowling,
something like
proper
that
all-rounder.
because like Hardik was a proper like a proper all-rounder, like a 50-50 all-rounder. You won't say
Correct.
that he's a batting all-rounder or he's a bowling all-rounder. He could swing the ball. We don't know if Nitish Kumar Reddy is capable of swinging the ball.
Exactly. Next year पता
So,
चलेगा इंग्लैंड में, or even in Adelaide, we don't know.
I mean, again, Adelaide, under the lights, anything can happen. Those
Exactly.
20 minutes before dinner and 20 minutes after dinner, that's the
After,
main
yeah,
period
yeah, yeah.
that all teams have to look forward to. And I mean, think it has been the modus operandi of Australia playing a day and night test match in
Yeah,
Australia. They have always tried to make sure, on day two, day three, they bat big in the first innings and they make
yeah.
sure that, they have a crack at the opposition during twilight.
I feel like when we went there in 2020, I think we actually
2020.
did very well in Adelaide. Like,
First two innings, yes. I think first
yeah,
two innings we were on top of the game, but then 36 happened. Like whatever
36
we
is,
nicked, it went
and
to.
surprisingly, like 36 bhi jab bhi hua tha, it wasn't like the ball was, there was obviously, it was the morning, there was no swing as such. There was a lot of
Hey,
seam
the ball
movement.
wasn't hooping corners, if you have to say it, like an English
Exactly.
commentator would say. But again, it was something that they nicked it, and everything that we nicked, it
Every
went in there.
correct,
They didn't.
correct, correct,
They didn't.
correct.
I don't think so. They dropped a single catch also, and
Ah, they
all
won't
the
have dropped.
chances were fairly easy. They were fairly easy.
Yeah. हाँ मतलब straight to the keeper or two slips. I think एक Tim Pin ने अच्छा कैच पकड़ा था, if I correctly remember. Other than that, I think they were all pretty straightforward chances. But
Yeah, I think pretty much everything was quite straightforward. But I still feel like it was that one of those kind of innings. Like even the Australian bowlers after that point were like, it was just a freak innings. This is not going to happen again.
it won't happen again. Yeah.
It can't happen again. But again, 46 all out was something on the first day of Bangalore pitch. We also
In
didn't expect
Bangalore,
that it would happen
exactly.
to us on our home conditions.
That's
So
true.
again, like the positives that we have to take from the first test is that the way Yashasvi and Rahul batted.
Yeah,
Jaiswal and Rahul actually batted and they negotiated that spell. Even if you
yeah,
look
yeah,
at
yeah.
Rahul's first innings, he was playing absolutely well. I mean,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
couldn't
yeah,
see
yeah.
like even if he was edging it, like even if some kind of edge was also going through to the slips, it wasn't like carrying to them. It was
Correct.
bouncing before them. He was playing with soft hands, like how the
Very soft
commentators want
hands.
everyone to play with
Mm.
against the new ball. So there are a lot of positives from the first test. Again, the
But
top
I
four
feel
needs
like
to
we
do
just
well.
feel
They have to
as
bat
a
well.
team, I think we are very settled now. I don't think, obviously we'll come to the combinations and everything, but I think
Yeah.
overall, like Kohli century, Rishabh Pant, Nitish Reddy, Jaiswal, Rahul, Bumrah, we have so many
Siraj,
positives from the first test. Siraj coming back to form.
um, that is also quite important. I mean, like if out of the 11, if 7 or 8 of your players are firing,
Yeah.
so you don't need anything.
In fact,
Obviously,
would
you're
you
still going
say,
to have someone who's going to have a bad match.
but would you say in the last in the Adelaide, sorry, in the Perth Test match, would you say anybody had a bad game from the 11? I don't think. Maybe you could say Dhruv Jurel
Like
had an
everyone had
average
their
game.
moments. Everyone had their moments of brain fade. Like Harshit Rana did have a moment of like a brain
Correct,
fade in second innings while he was bowling.
correct.
The top three did have a brain fade while they were batting in the first innings.
But would you say anyone of the 11? Would you say anyone did not contribute? I think everybody
No, I
contributed.
don't.
Like every. I remember one. Like I think Devdutt Padikal's 25 runs were very valuable because had we had a collapse then we would have been done in the
Yeah, yeah,
second innings as well.
definitely.
So Padikkal
It would have been
contributed.
a substandard total again. Sorry,
Dhruv Jurel's catch in the second innings at
second innings. Yes,
uh, I think it was I think it was at short leg if I correctly
it
remember.
was at short leg. It was at short leg.
Yeah. I think Stark का catch था ना.
हाँ, Stark का क्या था? और again, like making sure the tail didn't wag a lot,
Exactly. And like
which
what a
has been
catch
a
that
problem,
was,
which has
which has been a
traditionally
problem
been
for
a
us anyway.
problem.
Correct. So no, like net, I think every player contributed, and there are almost no negatives for India going into the test match. We feel very settled as a side. So for Australia, I think है thoda like obviously I think let's not talk about the negatives because everybody needed to contribute. But I think one positive obviously was Hazelwood, but he's also injured. Other than that, I'm not sure. Okay, obviously the form of Travis Head, some on some
But
levels the
again, see,
form of
I
Mitchell
won't be
Marsh.
too scared of Travis Head if like we put them into the right kind of conditions. Like if you are bowling first and if there is enough amount of assistance to the bowlers, then I don't
Hmm.
think so. Travis Head is going to be a problem because
That's true.
Travis
That's
Head
true.
is like just like that phenomena of baseball. They perform
Correct.
really well on wickets. The moment it starts swinging, seaming, or even spinning a bit,
Yeah.
I don't think so. Those are the kind of batsmen you have to be afraid of. In those conditions, I think I would be more afraid of Steven Smith and Labuschagne because these two players, even if Labuschagne is not going through the best of patches of his career right now, but still these two players have that ability to dig deep. They will dig in.
Fair.
They won't give up their wicket very easily, which can frustrate the bowlers quite easily.
In
Bowlers are
fact,
then going to try to do something or the else, and
that's true.
eventually they
That's
would
true.
get those scoring opportunities.
So I feel like one thing that's really as an outcome from the first test match, I think Australia are more scared of India than India are of Australia, and that's saying
Yeah,
something for an Australian side. Like you don't see that too often.
I mean, it's
And
the Aussie mentality that they talk about.
but it's roles reversed this time.
Yeah,
मतलब
I mean, what are they going to say? Because all of them were quite scared of not getting an IPL contract also, which must be
that's
playing
true.
up their
That's true.
mind.
That is true. That is true. That's
That
huh,
might be something that they would have in back of their mind that, what if
yeah,
we
yeah.
say something wrong to Virat?
हाँ, मतलब these the Australian newspapers, like I was reading every a couple of papers every day when I was there. They all talked about how basically and no Australian player is standing up to an Indian player because obviously they're scared of not getting an IPL contract. And it's fun to watch how they're complaining in the media. It's lovely to watch. I don't think we've India has been in such a position of power when the Indian team has been touring Australia in these many years. So it's great to watch.
Definitely, it feels really good to see like an Australian side acting all
Yeah, 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 yeah.
subservient.
मतलब I
When
was
you throw a bone to them, they are going to go and fetch it for you.
मतलब I am
The
very
bone is an
surprised.
IPL contract.
That's true. हाँ, but who would have thought, यार, like hitting Mitchell Stark for six and then telling him that he bowls so slow.
And that too, the best part about all of this was Jaiswal was not on a big score. He hadn't even crossed 50. He was in his 20s or
He was in
30s
his
when he was
30s. Yeah,
actually
I remember.
sledging
I
it.
think he was on 37 or 40 or something when he said that.
Just the
हाँ, मतलब
audacity he
the
had
audacity
to
is
come up to someone who has 380 test match wickets
exactly,
in his own home conditions and
exactly.
Jaiswal playing on it for the first time, giving it back to Stark.
हाँ, मतलब
I think
says
it
a
was
lot
just
about.
I think it was
Hmm.
just as a you can say like like Stark had sledge Harshit Rana in the first innings, right?
Oh, so he was just
It's the
giving
kind
it.
of
Yeah, of course, of course.
patience
This was
Jaiswal was showcasing, like you gave it to him, now we are going to give it back to you.
correct, correct, correct. हाँ, हाँ, हाँ. And he
It's
had
good to
told,
see an Indian team do that.
and such a
Like
young
from what
guy, damn.
Australia has
Like,
done to us in 2023 WTC finals, World Cup finals,
yeah, 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 yeah,
there's
yeah,
a
yeah.
sense of revenge that we want. Like at the end of the day, you want a 5-0 to happen.
Huh, a 5-0, I would say like on some level, even a 3-2 would be redemption.
Not
But a
even a
5,
3-2, like the redemption has to be a 5-0. At this point,
fair
it has
enough.
to be as brutal as it has to
Fair
be.
enough.
Even if we don't qualify the WTC finals, it is fine. But make sure that Australia loses 5-0 at home.
Fair enough.
That's the time I think the entire nation is going to breathe sigh of relief that it's okay, we
I,
can lose one home series. We can be whitewashed at home.
fair
The
enough.
scars of being whitewashed against New Zealand are still fresh.
They are very fresh. They are very fresh. Even fresher for Rohit Sharma, who is, yeah, I don't know. Like, obviously, I'm very happy that he's back, but I don't know how he will, where he'll fit in rather in the 11. KL Rahul did give anything away
And how
in the
the
press
night the
conference.
Prime Minister's 11 went through, I think he might be batting somewhere down the order, which is quite
Likely.
good for him because the pink ball is usually hard for the first 30-40 overs. The lacquer
Correct.
doesn't come off before the 30-40 over mark. So once the ball goes soft, I mean, it's going to be easy run scoring that is going to happen. So that's when you can have someone like a Rohit Sharma at number 5. Then you have Rishabh Pant slotted at 6,
At
Nitish
6.
Kumar Reddy at 7. So you have three good power hitters who can hit
That's
through
true.
the ball and play Pant ball, not even baseball, but like the proper Pant ball, the original
Um,
founder of
Rich ball.
playing at 6 and over.
That's true. Yeah,
So I
so I
think
think, हाँ, मतलब,
having Rohit Pant and Nitish Kumar Reddy at 5, 6, and 7,
hmm,
that time India can actually capitalize on those 20-30 overs of run scoring. You could
fair
easily
enough.
see 140, 150 runs being scored at a quick pace. Like, in 25, 30 overs, you can see that happening in one session.
Hmm.
If these three actually dig in and the conditions are in the favor of the batsman,
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. The only thing is like when Rohit comes into, if he comes in around that twilight hour,
okay, then you just
then
have to expect one to be padded up.
yeah, I don't know. I, and the thing is like he's not. I feel like he's the only one. He doesn't have a big score in any of the practice games, or I mean, in this practice game. I'm sure he must be doing well in the nets, but in terms of confidence, I'm not sure if he's there yet. Maybe,
I think the last big score he had was like in red ball cricket. I think it was during the England series when he scored a century. Did he score a
and
century? Yeah, he did score one
he
century.
scored.
So I
I think
think
in
that was the
Rajkot.
only notable thing, only notable big score that he had. And after that, it has been a slump in form for him in red
या
ball
या या
cricket.
आई थिंक
And the,
एक ही वो एक 50 बनाया था बांग्लादेश के सामने 52 और समथिंग
हाँ
अदर देन
मतलब
दैट
ठीक है.
हाँ बट अदर देन दैट नो रियल बिग स्कोर I know that's a only a consolation,
But
but
still,
but
counts in
हाँ
the
ठीक
stats. It's fine.
हाँ मतलब I think combination wise I think likely Jaiswal and Rahul to open, Gill 3, Kohli 4,
Gill
Rohit
slotted
5,
in at three, then Kohli. And then at five, you can go in with Rohit.
Rohit
Six, Rishabh.
6
Seven,
Pant.
Nitish Kumar. And at eight, I still want Washington Sundar to play.
You
Because
think
from what the
Washington?
pitch, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because I think so I was reading, the curator said this one thing that it's the same pitch that like the conditions have been the same, which were there in 2020 Adelaide test. So there is
Oh, okay.
so they have left 6 millimeters of grass. So
Yeah.
the pitch is, so you are going to have that moisture on the top surface, but it is going to be dry and hard. So if a wicket is dry and hard, you're
Mm,
definitely going to get some side spin and bounce.
fair.
So at this point, you would rather go in with a Washington Sundar than
Mm-hmm.
with a Jadeja, I feel. Because surprising fact was that Jadeja played his first test match in Australia in 2020. No, 2018, I think so. 2018
Oh,
or
okay.
2020 tour was his first. I think it was the 2018 tour. That was the
Okay.
time, 2018 third test match. That was the time he actually played his first test match in Australia.
Oh, okay.
And he has the best bowling average for a spinner, for an Indian spinner in
In
Australia.
Australia. Oh,
In Australia.
it's
I,
funny
I
that we
mean,
are
the
not
sample
talking
size
about
is of four
Ashwin.
test matches. It's a sample size of just four test matches.
I know, but
But
yet,
but yet, but I would still feel that we should go in with Washington Sundar because he's again someone who can hold that one end up for you.
fair enough. I was reading कि Ashwin, because of his record in Adelaide, could actually be a good option. And the other thing is like, I feel like if our bowlers get frustrated, then I mean that's one of the things in favor of Ashwin is that the Australian batsmen are obviously scared of him, and he'll figure something out to try and get you a wicket. I'm not saying he will, but he'll
Hmm.
at least he has the smarts to do that. I
I
don't
mean,
know
no,
if
he has the smarts, he has those quips with him, but at the end of the day, if you look at it, whenever he's trying too much, he's leaking runs.
he's leaking runs. That's true.
And again, when you're
Hmm.
trying so much and it's like there is no pressure that is going to be built. And then you have Nitish Kumar Reddy,
Hmm.
like he might be bowling from one end. And ideally, if Ashwin is bowling, and if you think Ashwin is leaking runs, you need someone like a Siraj or Bumrah from the other end to make sure, the runs are not being scored from
Runs are
both
not
the
leaking.
ends.
Correct. Correct.
You can't
Correct.
have a Harshit Rana bowling over there. And if
Fair
Harshit
enough.
Rana is leaking runs, you can't have two bowlers simultaneously in
Fair
a
enough.
span of like 7, 8 over span.
Yeah. Leaking
They
50,
score
60 runs.
easy 40, 50 runs. The
Correct.
momentum would be shifted quite easily. So
Correct. Correct.
again,
Correct.
in Australia, you need to make sure that you keep that pressure on them. The pressure of run scoring has to be there because they don't
Fair.
have someone like a Pujara is going to hang in there. Even if Labuschagne, how
Hmm.
much ever he says that he wants to be like Pujara, but Pujara used to consume balls. He would stay, he would occupy the crease, but he would score runs.
Ah, he
You would
did. He
never
did.
see
Of course.
Pujara scoring like 2 runs of 52 or 53
That's
balls
true. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
and providing all the
Hmm.
idiosyncrasies that he provides.
Fair enough. However, I feel like for Australia, though, I think they'll go in, except for bringing in Boland in place of Hazelwood. I think
Hazelwood.
they'll go in pretty much unchanged.
But Nathan Lyon did say that you might see Mitchell Marsh bowling. So
ठीक
the
है.
cloud over Mitchell Marsh playing or not playing. But again, see, in
हाँ.
the first innings, you could see Mitchell Marsh was bowling that tight line where,
Yeah,
a batsman did get irritated and we did give him two odd
two
wickets.
wickets. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we did give him two odd wickets and it was of top six batsmen. So
Correct.
again, top six or top seven if you want to consider, but
जो
still,
भी हाँ हाँ.
he had that knack of picking up wickets. So you can't totally
Fair.
discount him as well. And it's
Hmm.
again a pink ball.
Honestly, I am most worried because Boland is playing. I don't think we should write off Scott Boland and his
Yeah, I
record
mean, Port
in
Boland and
Australia.
the attack, like if we are batting first and if the conditions are, there is a
Hmm.
thunderstorm which is predicted for Friday for the first day.
Yeah, yeah.
So if there is a bit of moisture and if we are batting first and if there
हाँ.
is a cloud cover, all the caveats and the stipulations of if being added, it's going to be tough for us.
37 all out.
37 all
Still
out.
better
Yeah,
than
and
last
technically
time.
we were not all out. It was 36 for 9.
For
Shami was
nine,
retired.
Shami was retired. Correct, 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 correct,
So
correct.
if Shami would have batted, it would have been 50 at least because I believe in Jassiva and Shami as well.
They've done it
I
once.
believe in
They've
our
done it, I
lower
think,
order.
once.
Our tail always wags in overseas conditions.
That's true. No, no, that Lord's Test match, I can't forget that. But, what do you think? Predictions?
Predictions. I'm going for an India win, obviously.
I think the way
India win.
the way the momentum is, I think the way you hear people talking before a test match. I mean, I don't think there's any like. Travis Head is talking like he said that he will tell his grandkids about the fact that he faced Jasprit Bumrah.
He
Uh,
faced Jasprit Bumrah.
yeah, you
I mean, like,
can't. Matlab, Ricky Ponting would never say that. Steve Waugh would
yeah,
never
yeah,
say
Ricky
that. Hayden
Ponting
would
would
never
never
say
do
that.
that. I mean, at the end of the series, Ricky Ponting would come up and say, no, we were outplayed or something like that by a really good bowler. Or when he writes his book, when he writes his own biography, he would be like, yeah, Jasprit Bumrah was one hell of a bowler.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I think the if you look at it like after IPL, the relations between Indian Australian players have really gotten on the sweeter side, which is not
Huh.
something really good to look forward to. Like you want
Huh,
the
fair enough.
2014 series aggression, Mitchell
Hmm.
Johnson throwing a ball at Kohli, Kohli responding back with twin centuries. You want something like that to happen.
Correct, 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 correct. No, I feel
And if
like
you actually look at it, like when we went to South Africa this year also, and the year and the previous tour in 2022 as well,
hmm,
the
hmm,
2020 tour and this year's tour, when we went to
hmm.
South Africa, it was like a battle out there. You could see Rabada giving a
Oh
mouthful to
yeah,
all
yeah,
of
yeah, 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 yeah,
Jansen
yeah.
giving a look to Jasprit Bumrah while he was batting, Bumrah giving
Yes,
Jansen a send off. And the most
yes.
amo- and most overseas players sold in this IPL have been South Africans.
South Africans. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So at least we can say South Africa didn't like they did have their integrity with them while they were playing.
Huh, here, like
Not
it
so much with
just
the
seems
Australians, I
like
feel
they
now.
don't. I don't know. I mean, see, I feel like Pat Cummins is trying hard. He's not saying anything nice
Yeah,
about any
yeah.
Indian
Pat
player in
Cummins is trying
any
hard,
Test
and
match.
that's really good. I feel like there is some kind of rivalry that is building up.
Exactly. So Cricket Australia had done this this short
Who
clip
is right?
where, huh?
Like, which bowler would you choose and all of those things.
No,
Na?
no. So they were like describe Jasprit Bumrah in one word. So everybody said like Steve Smith said he's annoying, and I think Kawaja said he's incredible, and somebody else said something good. Basically, they were all praising Bumrah. You know what Cummins said? Cummins' description
What
of Bumrah in one word was bowler. That's it.
bowler?
Which
He
means
should
that
have
he's.
just said like better bowler than me.
I think there's no doubt about the fact that he's the best bowler in the world. Like there is across formats,
Across all
even
conditions.
even even with even like if you just single out the test format, I don't think there's anybody better in the world than Bumrah right now.
I mean, definitely nobody as close as Bumrah because of his versatility across all conditions. Like you can see a Rabada on a bouncy and a seaming pitch, yes, at
Yes,
par. But again, on a slow wicket, Jasprit Bumrah is going to come up with something. He will scuff up the
correct.
ball. The ball would be scuffed up in a certain manner. He would get in those reverse swing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
across all formats, across all conditions.
Ha, that's true.
Formats, we can leave out formats as of now, but across all conditions, Bumrah is a deadly bowler. Like how many times you are going to actually see that foreign media, like overseas media, is also just talking about not about India's batting, but Jasprit Bumrah himself.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I feel like and like obviously like before we end this, we have to talk about Kohli and Adelaide. I am
Centuries.
yeah, yeah. I think even last match in 2020, I feel like he was well on course to getting he was on 74, I think, when he got run out.
74, 76, he got run out. So he
He
was
looked
on course to get a century.
yeah, he looked very
2018, he
comfortable.
scored a century in Adelaide. 2018, no,
2018,
2018 he scored in Perth, and 2014 he scored twin
14 he scored in
centuries.
Adelaide. So I feel like he's well
And
on
his debut
course.
century was also in Adelaide. Debut test century
In
was also
11,
in
12
Adelaide.
was in Adelaide. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Was in Adelaide.
So I feel like something big is on the cards from Kohli in Adelaide.
I just
Yes.
want some of the Australian bowlers just to come up to him, say something to him, just rile him up. That's it. I want
I think
Kohli's
he's
testosterone level to be back at those 2014 to 2018 peak. That's it. I think
see,
after two kids, the testosterone level has gone down for Kohli. It seems like
see,
that he's much more
I
calmer.
think he's also trying hard. To देख ना वो he's trying to अभी last game he was trying to sort of pick a battle with Labuschagne,
With
uh,
Nathan Lyon as well.
with Lyon, with Travis Head. So I think he's looking for something for sure.
He's looking for a fight. He knows like Kohli thrives on such fights. He thrives on this. This is
Yeah,
when you
yeah,
see the
yeah,
best of Kohli. So even if he doesn't score like those twin centuries also that we are expecting or a big score, I just want Kohli to be all riled up because the moment Kohli is all riled up, he can marshal the team. He will marshal his troops. Even though this is
I
Rohit
think
Sharma's team, but
yeah,
You see
Kohli
Rohit
will
and then you
marshal
see
the team.
Virat and you see the intensity. And sometimes when things are not going in your favor in a test match, you need that
You need,
intensity
of
to be
course you do,
there,
you
right
do.
up there.
And you can see it directly impacting like some players like Siraj. I feel like Siraj thrives on off Kohli's intensity. Like even somebody
Definitely.
like
I
a
mean,
Harshit Rana, I think is the kind of guy who would
Ashit
try.
Rana again, the Delhi blood would come up.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
The
yeah.
Delhi lobby and the Delhi blood would keep on boiling. And you want that. You want that. Someone like when Kohli comes up to you, Kohli is batting at the other end. Someone like a
Yeah,
Yashasvi Jaiswal wouldn't even think twice before sledging Mitchell
correct,
Stark or
correct,
Cummins for
correct.
that
Yeah, yeah,
matter.
yeah, 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 yeah. They won't
So you
exactly correct.
definitely want Kohli to be riled up. I mean, the big score is a part and parcel of the game. Even if he doesn't score big, it's okay. But
But
you
it
just
just
want that
galvanizes
intensity.
the team.
As
So
long as the team gets all riled up and rally around him, and
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
can
yeah,
see Kohli celebrating a wicket, whether it's the opener or the number 11 batsman, the
yeah,
intensity remains the same. So you don't want Kohli to be laughing. So you just
yeah.
want
You
Kohli to be with
certainly
the
don't want him to be laughing. Matlab, not
like
against.
you want to make sure that he has that naughty smoke to his face when he sledges someone or he just looks back,
Yeah,
looks them
yeah.
right in the eye.
I think it didn't get better than you remember Kohli and Bumrah celebrating Travis Head's wicket in the second innings.
It
That's
was
how I
like
want
they
celebrations to
Cricket
be now.
Australia just put up a short clip of that, of the
Yeah.
actual audio. I mean, at this point, Cricket Australia for the broadcasting revenue, Fox,
They
Cricket
are they are
Australia, everyone
they're
for the
selling their soul.
broadcasting revenue have made sure that there have to be like three cameras panned on Kohli in different angles.
Yeah, 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 yeah. No, they've sold their soul. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, yeah, they have sold their soul in 2018. The moment they said the king has arrived, that's when you realize that they have sold their soul. It's
And
up for sale now.
and Jai Shah obviously calling the
Right.
shots. So, but anyway, predictions. Who do you think will the top scorer be in this test match?
I think KL. I'm going for
KL
KL
Rahul.
and Shubman.
I think it'll be Virat. I think this test,
Only
Virat
one more.
Adelaide.
It's a given, I think. Like you expect Virat to be in the top scorer, but except Virat, then there are other six, seven batsmen that we
Correct.
need to look at.
No, I think this time because it's Adelaide and because it'll be extremely poetic if that happens. So yeah, my
This
top
time I
scorer is
want him, like, if he scores big, I want him to win this game. Like
yeah,
what
yeah,
happened
yeah.
in 2014, we came quite close to winning
We
that
came
game.
close
We were
to
quite
winning.
close to chasing it down, but this time I want, we win that game. And that's where
Yes,
his
yes, yeah.
test cricket captaincy career also started in Adelaide.
Fair enough.
First test as a captain for the country,
Oh yeah,
scoring twin
what a
centuries.
beginning. He scored 169 or something, right? Yeah,
Yeah, he scored
147, I
169
think.
and then another 114 or something like that in the second
Uh,
innings. So you definitely want Virat to score big. That's a
and
given. But
wicket
if it's going to
takers,
be tough conditions, then I'm putting
hmm,
all my bets on Virat.
fair.
Then
And
it's Virat
top
and the lower order.
Virat, it won't come down to that, hopefully. But anyway, so top wicket taker, what do you think?
I'm going in with Harshit Rana.
It could be the case. I think because because it'll likely swing. I think I'm going for Siraj this time because I think they will come with a plan against Bumrah. They'll try and play him out.
They're going to try and negate Bumrah and Siraj as well to a certain extent, but I think Harshit Rana is going to be the bowler who would be out of the syllabus for them.
Fair
They are
enough.
going to they are obviously they're going to be preparing for Harshit Rana as well. But I
Hmm.
think the X factor that he is going to bring in.
Hmm.
So and he did have the courage to pitch the ball up in a
That's
debut
true.
test.
That's
When
true.
he was
Yeah,
bowling,
yeah,
he
yeah.
did have the courage to do that. So he seems to be like that bowler who has a lot of heart.
Fair
He was
enough.
not afraid of, getting like a cover drive being hit off him or a straight drive while he was pitching it up. So he was
Fair enough.
okay with being hit for a boundary or something. So I'm
Hmm.
placing my bets on Harshit Rana.
I hope he gets Travis head out again. That's what I'm
We just
hoping
want
for.
Travis Head to be out. That's it.
Yeah,
Whoever gets him, but he has to be out for a very cheap score. For a very cheap
yeah,
score.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. And let's see. I
What do you
hope
think? Like who with winning the toss? What do you think? Whoever wins the
winning the
toss,
toss
what do
and
you think?
I don't know, yeah. Like I think with Adelaide, I would probably bat first. I think forget. I think the only thing I'm looking at is not batting in the fourth innings
Hmm.
because here I think the conditions won't be very bad in the first 3 4 hours of play. I think they'll get except if it's raining and there's a thunderstorm, then obviously it's a different question. But I would say The most difficult time to bat will obviously be the twilight hour.
The twilight, yes.
So, but that will kick in 3 4 hours into the day. So I would probably
Into the day. I mean, like at the end of tea and the start of dinner, like post dinner
fair,
session and at the end of the tea session, like those
fair,
40 minutes of play. And we are accustomed to having 45 minutes of bad play.
fair enough. Hmm. So yeah, I think, but yeah, like win toss, bat first. I'm
Bad big,
guessing
bad first, bad big.
bat first, bat big. Yeah, 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 yeah. And I hope, I mean, even on day two, day three, whenever we bowl, the ideal situation would be for us to bat for like 1.5 days, and then during the twilight hour on day two, Bumrah coming in, getting 3 4 wickets,
Knocking at least 3, 4 over. At the
and
end of day two, you see Australia
Pat
like
Cummins coming in
4
as night
down.
watchman again.
I mean, the way Labuschagne is batting, I think they do have a night watchman at number three,
That's
so
true. That's true.
they don't have to worry about it. I mean, if you look at Cummins' contribution, Cummins, Stark, and Lyon batting, their contribution with the bat, it has been more than what Labuschagne has done in the last 10 test innings. So
Fair enough.
it
Yeah,
would
yeah,
be
yeah, yeah.
really, it would be a grave mistake of calling like Lyon, Stark, or Hazelwood night watchman.
Night watchman.
You do have a night watchman at number three.
Australia, what do you think? Who will be the top wicket taker, top run scorer for Australia?
Cummins. I'm going for
Cummins?
Cummins. But Cummins and Stark actually. The left arm
Hmm.
angle, the
I
swinging
think
ball.
I think Stark with the swinging ball is going to be very dangerous. I think, and Cummins honestly hasn't had a great run in the last 14 15 test matches. So I don't know.
But
I think
again, like
he
someone someone with the pedigree of Cummins, you never
hmm,
know.
you
The
never know.
moment
You
he,
never know.
it's just one spell for him, like 4, 5 overs of ruthless bowling where he can just wipe out the entire top order or the middle order. And
Hmm.
Cummins is extremely capable of doing that. And they do have Stark also to make sure the tail doesn't wag.
Correct.
So the combination of
Hmm.
Cummins and Stark with the ping ball,
Hmm.
like no doubt, Scott Boland is someone you have to be
Yeah, yeah,
afraid
yeah, of
of,
course, of course,
to
of
wary
course.
of him. But I still feel like the combination of Cummins and Stark
I agree, I agree.
is
Hmm.
something that you have to see off.
And top run
And
getter, I
we
think,
just hope that we keep on attacking Nathan Lyon like we did in the first test.
Rishabh Pant, I think now that
Rishabh
Lion's
Pant
got two
does have it in
wickets,
him. Like now he knows like Nathan Lyon got him out. So
correct, correct.
we might
Matlab
see
I can
some
see
fireworks from Rishabh Pant.
at least two sixes of Nathan Lyon from Rishabh Pant. But yeah,
Rishabh
like
Pant has a
top
very simple
run
concept. It
getter.
has to be a ball spinner. It has to be a ball, and that's it for him. That's where he loses everything.
I think Smith will score very well for them. I think he'll be the top run getter. Last game he did
I
look
don't know,
well
but why do I feel like Washington Sundar is going to be the one to get
getting
Steven
Smith
Smith
out.
out?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I don't know. It's just a very uncanny thing, but like what we saw in Gaba last time around in
Yeah, yeah,
2021.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, but I think he looked very good. Like Smith looked very good in Perth. So I think in the second innings especially, like he looked like he was getting in. And
Yeah, for those 14, 15 balls that he played.
नहीं second innings तो खेला ना वो. I think he like
30
Siraj
आई थिंक
bowled
30,
very
40
well.
बॉल्स खेला था 30, 40 बॉल्स
Siraj
खेला
bowled
था
very well,
बट
but Smith looked like
बैट पे कितना है तो वो नहीं पता
मतलब definitely more than Labuschagne.
but definitely more than Labuschagne.
So no, I think I'm
Like one
expecting
more thing I
Smith
would
to
actually want to add on before like we end this. I want Siraj to, well, whenever Siraj comes out to bat, I
Hmm.
want him to go for a forward defense. Look, Pat Cummins or Stark, whoever is bowling, look right in their eye and say no run. I just want Siraj to do that
Oh,
because he
oh,
has been practicing that. He has been practicing
that
that
would
in
be
the
the
leg.
icing on the cake.
And
That would be the
I
icing
would
on the
actually
cake.
want, I would actually want Siraj to do that. The best part would be Labuschagne bowling his dibbly dobbly medium
Yeah,
pacers to
yeah.
Siraj and Siraj coming in, putting in a proper forward defense, telling
Forward defense.
Labuschagne this is how it's supposed to be played, and then calling out a no run.
However, that would be. I don't think Labuschagne is going to be his quirky self anymore. Like I think even in the second innings in the last match, he was obviously like quite done. So looking
At
forward
this
to
point,
these
I
two
think for
games.
Labuschagne, it is more important for him to concentrate on his batting, his core competency.
Like, I feel like in hindsight, maybe his core competency was his quirkiness, not so much his batting.
I
But
think finally
because without
the
that, he's very ineffective.
yeah,
So
without that he's extremely ineffective, and I don't think so. Like he can be your fifth bowler.
Yeah, he can't be. He can't be. As we clearly saw last time, he can't be a
as we
fifth bowler.
clearly saw. It was good. It was good that he was bowling and you could see Kohli sweeping, which is a very
We saw
rarity
Kohli
in test
sweeping.
matches.
Yes, 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 that's true. We saw Kohli reverse sweeping, but he reverse swept to Nathan Lyon. But yeah, hopefully more of that in the game.
Hopefully
Let's
more of
see how
that.
it goes.
The
Looking
next,
forward to 2-0
looking forward to 2-0. Now the next 5 days we are just going to be sitting in absolute, what can we say?
anticipation. Cool.
Everything. I mean, we are going to go through all of those feelings. Now the next
I
five
know, I
days,
know.
the entire mood is just going to be on how the day ends
That's true. That's true. Yeah, and
and
that
what
is tested.
position are we ending the day. So my mental health and everything now is in balance of those 11 men who take the field tomorrow morning in Adelaide.
We are going to be taking the field on Sunday as well. So
We'll do a separate podcast on that.
for for what it's worth. But yeah, good
The
stuff.
moment if we actually make this thing big, we'll actually start calling out these. Like we'll take the snippets out of the previous podcast and say, we used to call it out.
Oh yes, of course, of course.
Of course,
Makes
future
sense.
plans, 5-year
Future
trajectory.
plan.
Where do we
Yes.
see ourselves?
हाँ,
Scoring
projections बना
200 in
लेते
a
हैं.
T20
Projections बना लेते हैं.
प्रोजेक्शन बना.
ठीक
संडे
है.
के लिए तो देख.
Yes, yes, yes,
संडे का
yes.
मूड पूरा सैटरडे पे डिपेंड करेगा कैसे मैच सिचुएशन है.
Hopefully 2-0.
But tomorrow,
Cool.
I think so. We'll be back after the test match and do our
Yes.
analysis. Like
For
Sasta
whatever it's
ESPN
worth.
Cricket for we are. We
Yes,
sponge
of
off the
course.
information we get from ESPN Cricket for.
All
We
review is
fabricate
top.
in our own manner.
Oh yes.
Sorry?
Cool. So after day one, let's talk again.
Let's talk
Chalo.
again.
Chalo.
Chalo. You.